Alright, guys, this is the cheap frog that works. This is the H20 Express, I believe is what the name of it is. It is a store brand, meaning not a brand name frog. This is the frog from Academy Sports and Outdoors, and so far I've been pretty impressed with it. I think I bought it for $4, okay? And I don't really see a difference between this one and, say, this one. This is the Strike King KVD Sexy Frog. This is the H20. I know, this one's a little bit bigger, but that's what I wanted as well. Because we fished this one for a little bit, and we couldn't get the distance that I really wanted, like, without really whipping it. So I wanted an easier casting frog, slightly bigger frog. So at the store, and I bought this because I wanted to try it and see. Basically, just wanted to see what the big difference is, because I know that most frogs will have kind of a round belly, just kind of like that, and that's what I bought. And I knew that this frog was not going to be the most durable, so the eyes have started peeling off. So that's kind of a bummer, but for $4, it's not bad. And the other thing is, I wanted a bigger frog, and I wanted a specific color. Because I've noticed that a lot of the frogs that are in the ponds that I was fishing, they have green heads, and then they'll have a black back. And the underbelly of them are brown. So that's kind of what I bought, kind of just to imitate it, right there. Okay, so no rattles, and I did have to trim the legs. Oh, that's the other thing. This one came with some real long legs. It's almost I had to cut half the legs off, and I did cut them one shorter than the other. Just so when you're pulling them, it actually walks a little bit. And it walks pretty good. And the best part is, this thing doesn't take up as much water as all the other frogs. I think it's because this hole right here, where the hooks are at, is actually a lot tighter. And I'm pretty sure it is a lot tighter. See, this one's got a much bigger hole there. So, instead of just squeezing the frog every 5 times, maybe you'll squeeze it every 15 times. That's what I've noticed as well. In terms of strikes, things like that, same amount of strikes. It actually looks better due to the colors that I've picked. Match the hatch type thing. For those of you who don't know what match the hatch means, it means pick a lure that looks very similar to the prey that your targeted predators are going after. And this is what I've found. This is what I'm using, and it works very well. Hookup ratio, not very good. That's the only downside, because I feel that even though these hooks are a lot bigger than the hooks that are on the Strike King, this is a small hook for the body of the frog. Really, this hook needs to be right at the top, if not a little higher than the top edge of this frog. So that's kind of a downside to it. So that's kind of what you kind of have to expect when you're buying frogs from people that are, not designing frogs for people who are trying to win tournaments, you can say. So not every bite counts, and that's kind of one of the drawbacks for buying a cheap frog. But overall, if that's like the only thing that's bad, everything else is still pretty good. Everything else is still acceptable. I mean, for like half the price, come on, you can't expect too much. And they give you the color you need. That's the other thing the other brands didn't. So, big thumbs for me, So, would I go back and buy this? Yeah, I would. And what some people might say, what's up all these cuts, all these random holes, this long gash right here. And I'll tell you that I took it up. We're from Oklahoma. My sister lives in Minnesota. Went up to Minnesota. I was throwing this around the ponds up there, and I kid you not, a pike hit it. And I guess yeah, go reference our video, and you don't even see any action, but I did look at it, and a pike must have hit it so hard, and it must have slid like a good inch and a half right here, right across the lure, and I had to glue that back together. So yeah, it is gluable too. The plastic sticks very well to glue, super glue that is. And this is one of those lures where, you know, it's just you buy it because you're not into the hype of other lures, and it's a lure where you're kind of like, it's okay if it gets off. I'm not there to, you know, I don't necessarily have to take a picture type of lure, and it's an affordable lure, and if anything else works, it should work. If they're hitting on frogs, they'll hit on this. And just because these eyes have peeled off, it doesn't really even matter, because when the fish looks at it, they're looking at it from this angle. So from that angle, that actually makes it look, I think, look a little bit better. But yeah, that's the H20 frog. A lot of good things to say about it. A couple bad things just because the hookup's not very good on them. Because of the hook right here, I don't know if you can change the hooks out on the frogs. I kind of doubt it, or if you can, it's gonna be pretty hard to do. But yeah, that's the major drawback right there. If this hook was one size bigger, oh my gosh, at under $5 a frog, I think this is going to be a real good frog. And I probably won't buy any other frogs that are kind of like in this, in this very similar shape. So, yes, definitely, if they got that fixed, it would have been awesome. Or if you can upgrade it yourself, it'll be awesome. But it just doesn't seem like you can. At least I can't say I've never tried. You can try, say forcing these out wider, modifying the hooks, modify it as in just straighten them out. They're kind of bent in a little bit. Well, this one's a little out right here, but this one's a little in. And that's the other thing about it. These hooks are not very consistently built. So you can say there's something like that. Well, you kind of want to bend them out straighter even more. And at that point, maybe they'll get better. But still, the fish will have to crush it so hard for the hooks to expose. So that's the only downside. Hookup ratio on this, I think, is not very good. And I did lose that pike. I did have 2 hits that day. One I lost. The second one I lost. Have I landed any fish? Yes, I have. But you do have to do that 2-second countdown. When you see the hit, you do have to wait like 2 seconds before you set the hook. When you do set it, it does get the job done. But in terms of hookup ratios between this and other brands, this one's not as good. But at the same time, it's half the price. So for those guys that are catch and release guys anyways, then yeah, whatever, I've seen people do this and they'll hang a treble hook on the back. Shoot, if you do that, yeah, go for it. Yeah, like I said, the other thing is it's slightly bigger, so it will cast slightly farther. It will attract the bigger fish. That's the other thing too. All the blow-ups I've gotten on this are all big fish. It'll filter out all the smaller fish. And the other thing is these legs are very, very soft. They're not really hard. They'll tend to spread out kind of like this in the water a lot better than the other ones. Like for example, this one, bronze eye shad or bronze eye poppin' frog. These are more tough. Like they don't tend to spread out as easily or stay together as easily as this one. So for some reason, these tails, I actually like them. I like the soft tail frogs. I just kind of do. So that's another, I would say, good quality. Some people say it's a bad quality, but I think it's a good quality. If the frog legs actually spread out a little slower, or they'll spread out slower, because when you pull them, it'll do this. They'll come straight, and then they'll slowly come out. Whereas this one, it's more like the legs will come out a lot faster. So that's one thing about it that I do like. Maybe on those days where the bass are really picky and they want some slow action, this is going to be the frog for you. Okay, once again, that's the H20 frog. I do like it. There are some drawbacks, but if you need that super long cast, and especially if you're fishing in open water or near open water, this will do very well. The only downside is, like I said, the hooks seem to be a little undersized, and other than that, I mean, it's a winner for me. at that price point, can't complain too much. All right, guys, check out next time. H2O frog. Damn it! It's that stupid black background with a stupid red frog again. That means the video is over. But I really do like this video, so I think I might just subscribe, like, and share this video with all my friends. And don't forget to share your daily catches with us on Facebook or on Instagram.